is that for SSB, if we make a pie chart of it, the 50% of what is required is a good amount of knowledge, the general knowledge that is required. And then the rest, 20% is the communication skills, and the rest 30% is the good amount of practice in the task itself, the getting good amount of the grasp in the task, getting to know what actual SSB is and what is required out of all the different tasks.
जय हिंद एवरीवन, आई विवेक पांडे वेलकम बैक इन टारगेट डिफेंस फोर्सेस। फ्रेंड्स, आज की वीडियो में हम बात करेंगे सालिक अहमद की, जो अभी रिसेंटली रिकमेंड हुए हैं फॉर NDA 150th कोर्स। ही हैज़ जस्ट गॉट रिकमेंडेड फॉर NDA 150th कोर्स। और सालिक ने इस वीडियो में अपना पूरी SSB जर्नी का एक्सपीरियंस शेयर किया है, दैट हाउ ही गॉट मोटिवेटेड टू जॉइन डिफेंस फोर्सेज, कैसे उन्होंने मेहनत की, हाउ ही प्रिपेयर फॉर द SSB, हाउ मच एफर्ट्स ही हैज़ टू पुट, एंड फाइनली how was his experience of SSB and finally he made it। कैसे कैसे उन्होंने परफॉर्मेंस किया अपने सारे टास्क में, इन डिटेल वे ही हैज़ शेयर्ड हिज एक्सपीरियंस। अच्छी बात यह है कि सालिक अभी जस्ट 12th में है, ही इज़ अपियरिंग इन क्लास 12th, अभी उन्होंने बोर्ड्स नहीं दिए हैं। सो दिस इज़ द लेवल ऑफ डेडिकेशन। सो ये वीडियो काफ़ी इंस्पायरिंग होने वाली है आप लोगों के लिए, काफ़ी इंस्पिरेशनल वीडियो है ये। इस वीडियो को आप एंड तक ज़रूर देखें। और अगर आप एक सच्चे डिफेंस एस्पायरेंट हैं एंड आर लुकिंग फॉर अ प्लेटफॉर्म वेयर यू कैन ऑल्सो प्रिपेयर टिल योर SSB ऑन डेली बेसिस, अगर आपको लेक्चरेट्स में दिक्कत होती है, अगर आपको अपने कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स में दिक्कत हैं, अपने आप को एक्सप्रेस नहीं कर पाते हैं, एंड यू आर लुकिंग फॉर अ प्लेटफॉर्म जहाँ पर आप रेगुलर प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हैं विद द सेम माइंडेड पीपल who are totally focused and dedicated towards being an officer, then my dear friends, you are at the right place. Just provide your details in the given WhatsApp number, rest I'll take care of। और इस वीडियो को आप एंड तक ज़रूर देखें, you will get a lot of things to learn। एंड अगर आप जानना चाहते हैं कि यहाँ पे क्लासेस कैसे कंडक्ट कराई जाती हैं, कि how the process goes on over here, you can watch the videos given in the comment sections as well as in the description box। So must watch the video till the end। Here comes the experience of Salik।
Hello friends, I am Salik Ahmed. I belong to Bhagalpur, Bihar, and currently I am studying in class 12th and I'll be giving my board examinations in March 2023. And I made it in the first attempt of NDA. I got recommended for the NDA 150th course from 18 SSB Allahabad on 14th of January. And talking more about myself, I have been an academic sort of guy. I had been focusing more on my academics, and until I got the realization that I need to work upon my personality. And since then, I took on the mission or the project of improving me as an individual and following the instructions of my mentors and following it. And I believe that has been a vital part of my recommendation. And I like to share the journey with you all. And so, talking more about my journey, I have been motivated to join the forces right from the NCC. I joined NCC in 2018 and I in the junior division, and I spent my 2 years of tenure in NCC. And uh, as I was coming from the civilian background, it was everything was new to me, and I was fascinated and motivated by the military lifestyle, the discipline, and moreover the training that was given to me. That instilled a spark in me, the sense of adventure that was there, and I wanted to continue in further in my life in my various more extent. And I got to know about NDA, and my commanding officer, as he was also an ex NDA, he always motivated me to join the forces. And after that, in recently, when I met General VP Malik, who was the chief of army during Kargil war, and interacting with him made my resolution more firm about joining the armed forces, and getting to know more about the forces made me to it. And talking more about my preparation journey, I after the announcement of the results of the written exam, I looked on for the platform where I can prepare myself for the SSB with the feasibility of my home online. And I got to know about target defense forces on the YouTube when I searched the daily routine of aspirants, and I got the video of sir. And then I contacted him and got to know about the group, and I was added to the group, and I started on my preparation. And the most important part of the target defense forces is its community, it's the environment, the group that we get. And the people, those who are there, the aspirants are very cooperative, and they are very supportive in nature, and they, as an individual, as a group, they take each and everyone ahead and to a greater extent of their potential. And moreover, when we talk about SSB, it is the main, the screening is the first, the session of the testing, and it is the part where majority of the candidates are rejected. And so it has to be prepared thoroughly. And the most important part of target defense forces was that the sessions were conducted daily. The PPDT sessions were conducted twice daily for the candidates based upon their presence. And the daily practice made me more strong in the narration part, and made me more comfortable in discussion, in getting part in a discussion and adding value to the group. And the daily feedbacks about my weaknesses, and what I need to improve more upon myself, was the thing that I worked upon, and that has significantly helped me in my SSB. And the it is a thing that majority of the candidates, the aspirants who are in this group, are getting screened in. And that the daily sessions are what it is doing this thing. And moreover, I was very weak in the interview part, as I was giving the in the mock interviews I was giving the answers wrong. Basically meant that if I would giving that answer, it would lead to the series of questions which will make me uncomfortable. So after getting the mock interviews and feedbacks from sir, I worked upon it, and I made the interview part the strongest part of my SSB. And then talking about the general knowledge, the general knowledge is one of the major concern of the aspirants. And in the group, it was a routine to send daily lecturates and to send daily news. And doing that thing, it got into our habit, and that has significantly improved my knowledge. And if we are practicing lecturate daily, then I searched the statistics, I searched the percentage rates that are there, the facts and figures that are there, and that feed it in my memory, and that has helped me in my group discussions, where I put forward my points, and where I got noticed by the G2, and the group members were listening to me in attention. And also the daily news, as the current affairs is very important, as it is very important in interview, group discussions, lecturate, everywhere it works. So the daily practice that was done in the platform itself was very sufficient itself for me to give in my SSB. And also furthermore, in the GTO tasks that are there, the first of all, the abstract task, the GD group discussion, the group planning exercise, and further the topics of the lecturate, where the general knowledge is more important, and getting along with the group is further more important. And in the environment of target defense forces, I got very familiar with how to deal with the group, and how to deal with various types of group, the group which is very aggressive, or the group which is very submissive. And to get myself through was a very important thing that I learned. And the general knowledge significantly helped me in the abstract task. And moreover, when we talk about the GTO, the about the GTO task, the physics of the task is very important, about the fatta bullies that we do, and that I got to know by the mentorship and by the guidance of the sir. And that concepts can be applied to every obstacle that we may encounter in the SSB. And that has helped me to get into the GTO, and to become not the passenger of the group, but one of the taking group forward. And about the psych, the people have many questions regarding queries regarding psych. And it is that it cannot be made up, means it cannot be mugged up, that has to come natural. And the thing that will make the psych more value adding story will be the improved general knowledge. When we have a good amount of knowledge about what a DM does, what is his task, the task of police officers, the NGO people, and the various sarpanch and the medical officers that they do health camps, etc., and how the things are done. If we get to know in actual life, then we can make a good value adding story depending upon the picture, and that will actually reflect our qualities, and that will make our site good. And the most important part that I've said about the four target defense forces is the group, the people that are there. And it is not that we can research or take or the get to know about the general knowledge all by ourselves. And so the research or the analysis that was made by different people in the group, and when they shared their views, when they shared their points, that also improved and enhanced my knowledge, as it is always the group that is important in the SSB. Okay, now coming to the my journey of the SSB, the 5 days of SSB in Allahabad, and it starts when I reported in the morning for my screening. I The documentation was done as it is done as usual, and the O of the first screening, the OIR test, that was simple, as I had practiced in the group itself, and also the I have taken the book of OIR, and that helped me to get it through easily. And the next part, the PPDT, the picture was that a person, the male is sitting between the two female students or the female children. And so I made a story of a medical awareness vaccination camp that was done, because it looked the person looked like a doctor because he was wearing a white sort of dress. And I made the story of medical awareness, giving vaccination drive to the children in poor village, and some that sort of activities that is done in medical awareness. And so I made a good story. In the discussion, my story was not accepted as the group story, as the majority of the candidates had written on agricultural awareness. And so after giving forward my point on medical awareness 2 to 3 times, 1 to 2 times, when they were not ready to accept my story, then I got it aside, and then I took what was actually going in the group. And as there were majority of agricultural awareness, so I decided that I'll give more points on it. Basically what happens is, the it is a psychological phenomena that if our story is not accepted as the common group story, then the person feels that he's some sort of dejected, and the group is going forward without him, and so he is not able to give that many valid points that he or she can give. So I then believe that, okay, now agricultural awareness is my personal story, and I will give as much value to the story I can. So then I started giving points on the various important and logical points about the government schemes that can be applied to help the farmers, high quality seeds, the subsidy that can be given to the farmers in loan, and such sort of ideas I gave. And so that added value to the group, and so I was screened in. And then the next day, the psych, it was as usual, the smooth, and I did not make any sort of negative ideas that is to be taken care. No sort of like many people, they give that he was failing an examination, he was some depressed anxiety, and then he realized things and then worked hard. But that's also negativity that is reflected in first. And I took care of many things, like if a problem is depicted in the picture, I have to notice it and make a story on it. Like there was a picture where two people were fighting, like the road rage was there, and the third person is coming. And many people wrote the bashmates wrote that is a scene going on, that there is a theater going on, or there is some sort of the college student type of fight that was going on. But in the actual picture, it was looking that it was some sort of road rage, or it was some sort of fight that is usually in the taking place in public. So I wrote a relevant story, and that relevancy helped me in getting through in the psych part. And The in SRT and WAT it is more about practice that can be done, and TAT can be done by the genuine ideas, but SRT and VAT can be practiced hard and that can be improved because that is very time restrictive tasks. So after that, the my interview was conducted the same day itself, and the deputy president was taking my interview. And what I noticed in the interview was that the majority of the questions that were asked to me was already prepared by me in the mock interviews by sir, and so that was not any much difficult for me to deliver it confidently. That was very most important. And the chain of questions that were arising, the new question arising in the answers that I was giving, was also delivered smoothly by me, and I was confident in most part of my interview. And also in the thing that I cannot given the answer, I simply said no, sorry sir, I do not know. Because also I knew that if the interviewer is asking you 10 questions, and in the first 9 question of the general knowledge you have said no as an answer, then he only sees that in the 10th question you have the confidence of that first question. And so that I kept in my mind and was confident, and I was honest in my interview. Later on in the GTU, I realized I was in my mind that the GTU first day is the very most important day, and to take part in the GTU first, I have to get along with the group. And so I interacted after getting screened in. I interacted with the group, and I got very familiar to my group members, so that uh, I if I give any ideas, then it should happen that they listen to me, or I my social adaptability is very most important, so that I can take on task actively in the group. And in the group discussions, in group planning exercise, my practice was very well effective there, and I did it well. And later on in the GTO task, in the physical ground task, the Fatta Bali PGT, that was smooth, as the majority of the candidates were from the coaching institute, and they were giving ideas. And also I gave important ideas and made things work. And also the thing I did, that if anyone else is giving ideas, I understood it well, and I made it to happen. I made it actually work on the ground, and that also was noticed by the GTO, that the person is contributing to the group and cooperating even if it's not his idea. And so that I kept it on throughout the ground task. And also it is what about confidence and the not losing any sort of thing in stress. Because in the command task, what happened, that was very strange, that the person who was recommended with me called me as a subordinate, and when he was doing the task, he did not break the helping material, he broke the structure itself. The structure he broke that, and also that was a metal piece of rod. And I thought that now this man is going to be in great stress as he has broken the structure, but he was very cool, and he was looking for ways out of that. And GG2 also noticed it, and that was a very good thing response that I have noticed there. And even though, and then he took the next route, and after wasting his time in that particular structure, even then he completed the task. And in the command task, the most important thing is to handle the pressure that is being given, and to think effectively. And that I carried forward. The that I said earlier, the physics of the task, that is important, that concept that can be applied to any obstacle to clear it. And in the most peculiar part of my SSB journey was some parts of interview that where he was grilling more upon my family relations, that how I spend time with them, what they tell me not to do, what they tell me to do, if they tell me the things not to do, why are the reasons. And that were new to me, and I gave that answers very honestly, and keeping in mind that those answers were not in doubt of my OLQs. And so in GTO, one thing that I missed, or one thing that I was I land, where was the GOR, group obstacle race. And in group obstacle race, I contributed very much to the group, but at the last obstacle, I was somewhat tired, and the GTO noticed it. And that was a question on my physical stamina. And later on, after the GOR, only the that day itself, the individual obstacle was conducted, and I was able to do 9 out of 10. The important 9 I was able to do, and but the zigzag I was I fell down. So that was the thing that took majority of my time, as I was trying it hard. And so I completed only 9. And then after that, the lecturate the next day, lecturate command task FGT, that was done smoothly. And my conference that was in the last day, that went longer, and that went around the discussion for me was around 10 to 15 minutes, and my the conference went around 10 to 15 minutes also, total around 30 minutes. And so the things that were asked to me was how I am with my instructions that I give, because the meaning of my name Salik Ahmed is the follower of right path. And if they asked me that are you what your name means, do you believe that it is actually true to yourself, I said yes sir. And I give all the answer, I give all the relevant response, that I follow the instruction of my teachers, parents, mentors, etc. And then he started questioning about my physical stamina. What do I do? Because the GTO's response was that he's lacking in that area. And the in my conference, the board president was taking me deep into this, and he was making me realize that I was not sufficient. But I handled it very efficiently, and I told him that yes sir, I realized that it was my fault. And then I what cleverly I did, that I told him all sort of things that I have planned for improving this, all sort of things, measures, 5 to 7 points of my plan that I'm going to do after my SSB for improving this thing. And that what has made him convinced that I am able to do different things, and I am able to improve upon that. And that where in the conference itself, he was very digging it into that topic, how my routine was there during the preparation. Even though I had, after the commencement of the written exam results, I had 3 months time. So he was asking me that how come you did not improve in 3 months, how was it not sufficient for you, and related questions to grill, to make me feel down upon myself. But I handled it very cleverly, and I gave my responses. And so that is what I believe is very most important in SSB, is confident and belief in yourself. That will help you in majority of the task, as it is said that the confidence is the mother of all OLQs, and if you have confidence, then you can develop each and every OLQs subsequently. And so that was my experience of SSB. And that's it. And lastly, I would like to say for the future defense aspirants, and for the ones who are preparing for it, is that for SSB, if we make a pie chart of it, the 50% of what is required is a good amount of knowledge, the general knowledge that is required. And then the rest, 20% is the communication skills, and the rest 30% is the good amount of practice in the task itself, the getting good amount of the grasp in the task, getting to know what actual SSB is and what is required out of all the different tasks. And that makes up of what is required in the SSB. And if we see, then majority of the things can be covered up and can be prepared by deep practice, by consistent practice. And so the consistency is what will make the individual very strong in its preparation, and will lead up to a good result. And so I realized that in after my written exam, that if I prepare very consistently and efficiently, then after a few months and after a few weeks itself, I would notice a change in myself, a change in improvement in my communication skills, improvement in my confidence and general knowledge as well. And so the regularity, the consistency is very most important for any sort of examination, or any sort of thing that is to be done, or any sort of goal. So improving general knowledge, reading about current affairs, getting to know the daily things that are happening, and most importantly the analysis of it, the what it may lead to, or what are the chain links of topics that are originating from this particular event itself. And that will help significantly in majority of the tasks of SSB. And secondly, the improving the other aspect of preparation, like improving the communication skills, improving the confidence, improving social adaptability, taking initiative. Such sort of terms are very technical, but actually it is very relevant to our life, like uh, becoming more efficient in the speaking in groups, colleges, in the clubs that are in colleges, etc. And such sort of activities will boost confidence. Such sort of activities will boost the social adaptability. And improving on the other side of the preparation is also very important, rather than just focusing on the tasks, what are the tasks and how the things are prepared. And so the first and foremost thing that is required is consistency. And for that I would give the contribution of target defense forces for it, as the daily PBDT sessions, the daily group discussions, daily lecturette, and the news was the very most important part in my preparation, and that lead up to the recommendation as well. And so I would suggest to the defense aspirants to make it up a routine of improving the general knowledge. The practice and practice will significantly help an individual. As if I talk about myself, my communication skills back in 2020 was very poor, and I was fumbling. I was not even fluent in English as well. I focused on my English, and I used to stutter as well. And daily practice, the regular practice helped me significantly in NCC as well. And after joining target defense forces, that has helped me to become confident of my ability in communication. And communication is what is the most important part in majority of the tasks in SSB. And that is to be boosted, that is to be improved, and it will not only help in SSB but in every part of life as well. So uh, and after that, the knowledge, general knowledge, as I said, is very important, and getting the good amount of practice, that will get you into the thing that is in the SSB. So that's it. And also about target defense forces, the most important thing that is there is also relevancy. The relevancy in the content that is being practiced in the group. As what I noticed that what I have prepared in the last month after going to SSB, that was very related to the things that are asked in the SSB. If we talk about the lecture topics, that was very similar, and that were actually what I had prepared mostly in my preparations, were actually available to me in the topic. And as I was prepared for that, I gave the lecture it very confidently. Moreover, the stats and the facts and figure that I prepared in the group was very useful in the SSB, the group discussions, and was also important for me to put forward my points and to get the attention of the group. And also the advantage of the target defense force, that I got the guidance of not only the sir himself, but also the previous recommended candidates, like all India rank 1 CDS Himanshu Pandey sir, and also the NDA 148 I believe, or 146 Shauri Bhaiya was also there. And the people who were already recommended, they also were giving guidance and support to us, the group members, and also interacting with them, clearing our doubts and getting to know more about the preparation part has also helped me in my SSB. And that was also a building blocks of the contribution in my recommendation.